Tonight is special because we are here to celebrate a very unique organization. I want to take you back to the year 2000. The location was Chicago, Illinois. I had gotten a call from my friend of many years, Harry Belafonte, telling me that he was going to be honored by a new organization called the HistoryMakers. It was going to be a PBS-TV taping that would air nationally, and he wanted me to interview him. The HistoryMakers were starting an oral history archive that would pick up where the WPA slave narratives had left off, allowing us as Black people to tell our own stories. I, of course, said yes. Little did I know back then that the HistoryMakers would grow to what it is today. The date was Thursday, November 2nd. Let's take a look.
Whichever way you feel more comfortable, okay. I'm going to leave that for you. It might be bigger words on this one.
Do you want me to, you want to go over these some more?
No, okay. I'm going for myself.
All right.
Annie, I'm sure you
Daddy? Yes, sir. Look who you got.
Hello.
And look who I got.
Is this all for the archives? If I get a call from a place like Chicago that says we'd like to document and archive the history of our nation through those who have experienced it, would you assist us? Then my answer is overwhelmingly on the positive side of accepting, because that's what I would like to see happen. So that there'll be the capacity for us to hear each other's voices unfiltered.
I had done the interview with Anna Moulton Barnett, and I wanted some footage, and she told me to see this gentleman here who was a teacher at Northwestern University. I went, and he had a very eclectic but interesting Black collection, and he was white. And I remember sitting out in my car and saying, oh, he wouldn't even sell that to me, I bet.
So we have to become more responsible and far more self-sufficient than we have been. So I think this is an attempt at that. And my part of that responsibility is to energize that thinking.
I remember being a young person sitting in class in elementary school, and who did I learn about? I learned about George Washington Carver, W.E.B. Du Bois, and slavery. That was about it. And I remember that when they would talk about slavery, I'd want to sort of go slinking into my seat. I was very intrigued about the telling of stories. I was also troubled about images that I saw of African Americans. They did not cover the breadth of the African American experience. And that struck me that our own history did not exist in our own hands. I went to the National Bar Association convention. Leon Higginbotham, who I very much admired, was there. And there was a civil rights panel, and people on the panel were Reverend Billy Kyles and Constance Baker Motley. And it really struck me at that time that we know about the Rosa Parks, but these were people who were as involved in the civil rights movement that no one knew about, yet they were as instrumental as the people that we heard about. The HistoryMakers is an archival project. It is not a documentary, one documentary. It's not a TV program. It's not a radio series. It is an archival project. And in many ways, and the reason that I have shortcutted the description, it resembles Spielberg's Shoah Foundation. After his making of Schindler's List, Spielberg went out and said that we want to record the Holocaust experience. They have recorded 50,000 interviews in a 5-year period. What that means that history will never, ever, ever go away. And we have the same urgency, if not more urgency, in the African American community.
Hi, everybody. Daddy, what the hell?
That's all you want to get out of it.
Gotta sit.
No, I'm not retired, and I can't stand up. We've also... Tell him I said hello.
I will. I sure will. God bless you. God bless you.
Marshall Thompson, shout
How you doing?
All right.
I think it's a fabulous idea, especially for being an artist, for the artist, because so many artists have come through that I've known and nobody even remembers.
The thing that interests me also is simply the focus on accomplishment. So when you talk to accomplished people from any race, color, creed, you learn about what does it mean to be accomplished, how did they get there.
History Makers is a wonderful way for us to learn more about the people that have made us what we are today. And some of these stories have been heard, but some of them haven't been heard.
The church that I'm pastoring is the oldest black church in the Englewood community in Chicago. It's 113 years old. And of course our denomination, the African Methodist Episcopal Church, is over 200 years old, founded in 1787 in Philadelphia. So we are proud to be a part of this History Makers because our denomination is history making in America.
Welcome to the national launch of the History Makers.
I'm excited about the launch of the History Makers, and it could not take place in a better city than Chicago, Illinois.
The goal of History Makers is stated in its philosophy: to preserve, to educate, and to show the world that African American history is American history.
They are here. They are the History Makers. Reverend Willie Taplin Barrow, Timuel Black, Oscar Brown Jr., Jacoby Dickens, Vernon Jarrett, Herb Kent, John Rogers Sr.
We were going to interview Colonel Thompson. And when I went to the interview, on my way, because we always well-researched things, I knew Colonel Thompson was a Tuskegee Airman. That's all I knew about him. When we got to Colonel Thompson's home, he had been preparing for us for 3 days, and he had boxes and boxes of photographs. And turns out he was the chief documenter for the 99th Squadron, the famous squadron for the Tuskegee Airmen, headed by Benjamin O. Davis. And he sits me down at a table and he says, "Have you ever heard of the Golden 13? And I said, "No, Colonel Thompson, I've never heard of the Golden 13. He said, "Well, they were the Navy's version of the Tuskegee Airmen, and there are 4 left in this country. And one lives upstairs, and he wants to talk to you."
William Sylvester White, one of the remaining members of the Golden 13, the Navy's version of the Tuskegee Airmen. And our final history maker this evening, Etta Moten Barnett. She is history herself. She played Bess in Porgy and Bess on Broadway. She is our queen. And on November 5th, she will be celebrating 99 years. We want to celebrate you on your birthday a little early, Miss Barnett. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, who?
Ed Moten Barnett.
Oh my God. Where is she sitting?
House left, very corner seat, closest to the stage.
With no further ado, it is my pleasure, my honor, whatever I did to get here tonight, I will do it again. Thank you. To introduce stage screen, Brandon. Let's give him a warm welcome, Chicago.
Tonight we are here to promote the launch of this very important initiative, the HistoryMakers, an archive of 5,000 African Americans who made a difference. There's something everyone can appreciate in these stories. It's about education. It's about our legacy. It's also about telling our story and about correcting American history before it's too late. Now, a person that I hold dear, that I love very much, who made history when times were different.
Harry Belafonte.
In many ways, African Americans are the rags to riches stories in America. We've often taken a piece of gold and made a diamond out of it, over and over and over again.
I am supporting the HistoryMakers, and I urge you to continue to support them as well.
And if we are able to do that, we will be leaving a true legacy.
In a sentimental mood, I can see the stars come through my room, while your loving attitude is like a flame that lights the gloom on the wings of every kiss. Drifts a melody so strange and sweet in this sentimental bliss. You in a sentimental I'm within a world so heavenly, for I never dreamt that you be loving sin.